Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of FTB Infinity Evolved Skyblock with Arturio Emerys. So, after a lot of hard work over the last 2 days, I have all of the Botania flowers, and I have them all improved to 10-10-10. The amount of crossbreeding is just crazy. And in order to do it, you need some of the Pam's Craft stuff. Here, hold on one second. There we go. Okay, you need some Pam's Craft stuff. Like, let's look at some of the mystical seeds. Like, these are the 16 mystical seeds. The most basic ones are yellow and red, and you make these from dandelion seeds and orange tulip seeds. And these you have to make from previous combinations, sugarcane seeds, melon seeds. Now you'll get some of these from just sieving dirt, but to get all of the basic seeds, you need to probably between 1 and 2 stacks of dirt you have to sieve. And then once you have those, you have to, where'd I put them? Okay. The basic seeds here, the normal seeds, the pumpkin seeds, the sugar cane, carrots, cactus, potato, melon. You have to crossbreed those and improve those to get them. Hold on one second. I'm trying to keep things organized here. There's so many seeds that it's hard to kind of keep straight what you have. So you really have to do a couple of different stages of breeding to be able to do Botania. You have to do the vanilla seeds. Then from the vanilla seeds, you have to do breeding to get the normal flower seeds, which are, you know, the dandelions and the poppies. And then you have to do the tulips. There's not that many tulips. I think there's 4 tulips. Yeah, there's 4 tulips. Let's see. And then there's 4 regular flower seeds: the dandelion, the poppy, the blue orchid, and the allium. So you need to breed all 8 of these. You need to breed all, what is that? That looks like 6 of those. So that you need to get 14 seeds, plus you need the cactus seeds. That's 15. Pretty much before you can start any of these. And I think once you have those 15 seeds, then you can start on the mystical ones. I don't think they require any of the other Pam's Craft stuff. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. I think black requires cactus. Yeah, okay. So for the most part, you can get away without doing Pam's Harvest Craft if you don't want to. But once you've kind of set up to process seeds and do AgriCraft, I figured it might as well. If nothing else, I can make good food, and there's a culinary generator that you can produce power from food that you produce. So I figured, you know, why not? So I told you last episode that I was going to try to do all of this off camera, and I've held to that. And one of my viewers pointed out this thing here. It's called a clipper. Is what I had been doing. Here, let me grab this real quick. I was sorting my seeds, finding the best single seed, and I would plant it here with a double stick here. When this grew to maturity, it would automatically spread. Okay, and then I would break that one and replant it here, wait for that to grow to maturity, and then put double crop sticks here and here. And that's what I've been doing. So what the clipper does is it allows you to shorten that process a little bit. You plant one plant, you don't have to wait for it to grow to maturity. You use the clipper to get a clipping, and then you plant the clipping, and then you wait for both of them to grow to maturity, and then plant your double crop sticks. If you have bone meal or fertilizer, you can speed that up a little bit, okay? Because with bone meal, you can bring these to maturity very, very quickly and shorten the process. The problem is I keep running out of bone meal, and while I do have a supply of apatite and I do have some sand, I think this will make 8. Oh, okay, that works. Yeah, this will make me 8. Now, in theory, I can use this like bone meal. I believe I can use this like bone meal. I haven't tried this yet. So that's at 42%. You cannot use that as bone meal. Oops. Okay. So if you... now I got to come up with a place to put 8 of these things. My inventory is nearly full. So if you have a harvester, you can use that that fertilizer, that apatite-based fertilizer, to increase your plant growth. But I don't have a harvester, and I'm not close to a harvester. Like they've done some things to make this a bit harder. Like I need a slice and splice, which is zombie head, silicon, which means I need a sag mill, or I can get into bees. Yeah, so a sag mill. That's just for that. For the machine chassis, I need capacitors, which means electron tubes, an assembly table. Yeah, harvesters are pretty end game. So I'm not going to have those for a while. Some of the technology I have, I do have a laser, a couple lasers, and assembly table. I don't have a good power system to run them yet. I also did make a thermionic, fabricator. And when I've needed those, what I do is I take this out, I put the fabricator there, and produce a few, I made diamond electron tubes, which I needed for the lasers and the assembly tables. But I don't want to keep making these hobbyist steam engines to power stuff, so until I have a better power mechanism, I'm not going to do anything with the assembly table. So harvesters are going to be very, very long-term solutions. So these things I'm going to get rid of because I don't need these. One of my other viewers recommended that when you get to this phase, like there's ways I could have set this up that would have saved me a transfer node, where I could have done this with a single transfer node. I would have needed another transfer pipe. Like if I had this chest moved up one and I had another transfer pipe here, this transfer node would pull the cobblestone out and would feed the crucible, and then anything that was left over would go up into the barrel that would be up here. And that would save me one of these 2 transfer nodes. This transfer node here, supposedly, and actually we can test it because I've got them. If I take one of these seared faucets, do I have stuff? Oh, yeah, I've got stuff in there. Okay, I'm going to lose the lava that's in there, but that's not a big deal. Now, he says that if you take a seared faucet and go like that, this will automatically output lava into the seared tank. I mean, maybe. Here, let me take one of these. This would make more sense. And that would have saved me a liquid transfer node, which again, I mean, it takes buckets and a little bit of iron, so they're expensive from that standpoint, but I mean, it's doable. I mean, I've got a supply of iron, so that's not a big deal. They're kind of a pain to make because I have to use the hammer. Okay, so now there's nothing but seared. Is this going up? That was the whole reason of me doing this, was to see if this drain would actually refill. Hmm. $37Z60. I'm going to try one other thing, just to see if this works. Oh, looky there. Okay. What I did when I made this was I put cobblestone in there, and then I extracted these seared stone blocks, which is, you can make smelteries out of them. It'll work. So there's one block left. But then you either have to leave it like that, or you have to use a chisel to convert it. So if I do want another smeltery and I don't want a second texture on it, I want it all to be blocks, I could use this route. Like I could set up a hopper underneath here in a chest and then put a redstone clock next to one of these faucets, and it would automatically output the seared bricks, which I could then use to make more smelteries. Yeah, I may do that down the road. We'll see. So this has not gone up. So I'm going to grab, I don't think this will work. Let me see if this will work. No. Let's look at seared. There used to be something, I think it was called a seared channel. All right, let's look at seared bricks. What can you make with seared bricks? All right, you can make a drain, a controller. Nope, that was not what I wanted. A casting basin, a casting table, a seared tank, a seared glass, seared window. What's the difference between a seared window and seared glass? Okay, this looks like it's actually a tank. All right, whatever. Seared faucet, casting channel. This may work. I wonder if let's put these back. Okay. I'm going to put this seared stone back in and see if it'll remelt. It will not remelt. That's okay. Because this thing is so awesome. Look at how quickly it made a whole nother stack. Now, this buffer down here is empty, but look at that. It's half full again. So it's just awesome how quickly those things fill up. All right, let's go put this aluminum ingot away while we wait for that to melt. And 8 blocks of seared stone. And based on that previous little experiment I did, every block is 4 bricks. But I only need 5 for this experiment, so we'll do the rest later. Okay. Oh, that gives you 4 of those. Interesting. Okay. I didn't realize that. So now, let's see if this works. If it works ridiculously slowly. Okay, maybe I didn't understand his comment, but this does not seem to work. I don't know. I may have misunderstood what he was saying. So anyway, if you put a liquid transfer node there, if it's pulling from an inventory, it doesn't need a world interaction upgrade. It only needs a world interaction upgrade if it's pulling from a water source block. So it doesn't need that. So now if we look at this, this is all full again. And this is producing, you know, melting lava again. Okay. Now, if I had a golem, there are ways that I could harvest these with golems. But golems are going to be very, very far away, and it might be easier to make harvesters. But I know some people were saying on the forums that they wanted to see if they could do a totally technology-free implementation. You may be able to do that. The big problem is you have to have at least the ability to make buckets, and for that you need creosote. And I don't think there's another way to make creosote without a coke oven of some variety. And a coke oven isn't that hard to make, so you may have to make a couple of compromises and do a couple of little bits of technology here or there. Okay, beautiful. So what that does for me is every time I harvest, I am going to get 20 of every one of the 16 mystical flower petals, which is nice. And when, oh, why do I have a cyan seed there? I don't know what I'm going to do with my leftover ones. I don't need them for further breeding purposes as far as I can tell. But anyway, when you're in the process of crossbreeding seeds, and once you get the seed you want, you're trying to improve it to 10, 10, 10, if you're starting with 5, 5, 5 seeds, you normally will get between a stack and a quarter and a stack and a half of whatever the product of that seed is in the process of improving it to 10, 10, 10 from 5, 5, 5. That's the experience I get. So that's where all of this stuff came from, and that's where all of this stuff came from. I don't really have any of my crop fields in production at the moment. And at some point I will take this sprinkler down because it only hits 7 by 7, so the outer edges aren't getting hit. And I'll, you know what, it might make more sense to move this. Oh, I hate to do that though, because then I'd have to dig up the pod soil and make more. Okay, something to think about. So anyway, I distracted myself and forgot what I was saying. Sorry about that, folks. It happens. What I normally do is to try and prevent background noise. I'm getting up very early. I tend to be a light sleeper anyway, so I normally get up around usually between 5 and 6. And if I have stuff to record, I can record something before my dogs are up and before my wife's up, and just get a little cleaner sound. Also, if it's early in the morning, the air conditioner isn't normally on, so the sound is a little bit better. Today, I couldn't sleep hardly at all, so I have actually been up since about 4. And the consequences of that is I'm a little sleepy. So anyway, that's probably been a little bit over 20 minutes. I think that is going to be the last we are going to talk about AgriCraft. The rest of it, hopefully by the next time you see me, I'll be done with AgriCraft. I'll have all the seeds and they'll all be improved to 10, 10, 10, and I'll start working on other stuff. My next episode, I hope to be actively working Botania. So I'll have to set up a plot somewhere and start, or set up some land somewhere and start putting together a Botania system. So that's my plan. Anyway, I hope this episode has been useful to you and you've learned some things. I've learned some things. I tried some things. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. And if you got something out of this, it would be awesome if you'd throw a like on the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, it would be even better if you would go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Those numbers surely help me. And last, if not least, you know, if you have any comments or questions, leave them on YouTube and I'll answer them. If you have suggestions that I haven't tried, and I know you don't know if I've tried them or not until you see the video, which may be a bit later, but you know, make your suggestions. I'll let you know if I've tried it or not, and I'll give it a try and see how it works and see if I can make it work. Yeah, keep the comments and suggestions coming. Thank you for watching. This is Arturio Emerys signing out.